In this video, we will take a look at the Enterprise Quickstart CLI, which is available via the walt.id Enterprise Quickstart repository. You will also find a link in the description to go directly there. Please note, in order to use this Quickstart CLI, you need to be a walt.id Enterprise customer. I already have this walt.id Enterprise Quickstart repository on my local machine, and I now get this walt.id Enterprise command. So if I execute this, I have a bunch of different commands I can use to try out and play with the Enterprise stack. It's important to note that this is just a tool for demonstration purposes and to learn more on how you can use the Enterprise stack. But because the Enterprise stack is quite complex and there are different components that are interacting with each other, this tool is a great way to get to know the Enterprise stack step by step. And to make it super easy, we also built a so-called wizard command, which you can use to walk through the basic steps you need to do in order to set up an Enterprise stack instance to be able to do issuance and verification of credentials. Now, in order to use the different commands, we first need to run the Enterprise stack instance on our local machine. And so here we simply have our walt.id Enterprise run command. Once I have this, I will need to open a second terminal in which I can then use now the different commands to interact with the API I just started up. Now I will try out the wizard and see what we can do here. So the first thing what will happen is that we will need to recreate the database. So we are starting from a clean slate. Then after we have recreated the database, we start with a super admin account. Once we have that, we can log in using the super admin and then also initiate the database and then create our first walt.id organization. And all of these steps we are now seeing here in the CLI tool are the steps you would need to do via the API to get your Enterprise stack up and running for you and your customers. Now, next to these different steps via the wizard, we can also execute the different commands by themselves. So for example, we could now also here execute the command to generate a specific key for a DID. All of these commands at the end help you to better understand how you can interact with the walt.id Enterprise API. So you get quickly up to speed and understand the different concepts, the different calls you need to make, and also how these things relate to each other. And if you want to dive deeper to understand the different API calls that are happening behind the scenes, you can also check out a video which we made about the exact step-by-steps you need to take to issue a credential with a revocation status, receive it in a wallet, and then later revoke this credential and then verify it using the verifier service of the Enterprise stack. With that, happy building and see you next time.